Hello, I'm Chaska May. I would first of all like to send my huge condolences to George Floyd's family and to every single black, Asian and minority ethnic background who has lost a loved one in this way. For those who are wondering why we are protesting, is it okay if a person of colour, so casually walking down the street to pick off groceries or to meet a friend, to be stopped and searched by the police and shot for absolutely no reason? I don't think I need to answer that for you. Everybody who was saying that all lives matter are part of the problem. Because all lives can't matter when white police officers think it's okay to put their knee on a black person's neck. I am absolutely disgusted by the way in which a lot of leaders have reacted to this. In the UK, racism is just as rife as in America, although not to the same level. What the hell has Boris Johnson said? What the hell has any person in Parliament said towards what's happened in America? It's absolutely sickening. Do you have any idea what it feels like waking up every single day to leave your house and to have people making racist, bigoted and ignorant comments? Do you know what it's like when you see a police officer walking towards you and potentially being stopped and searched for no reason? Do you know what it's like watching television, film and theatre productions where the same narrative of black people is still being portrayed? I don't mean to sound horrible. I don't mean to seem cynical, but unfortunately, George Floyd's death will certainly not be the last. I wish it was, but unfortunately, it won't. Because unfortunately, democracy doesn't count. People paying their taxes, people working for the country that they were brought up in, don't even feel safe in their own country and in their own neighbourhood. What on earth does that say about the planet that we live on? This is not just a black issue. This is everybody's responsibility. Every single person's responsibility to take racists to task. To every single black person out there, you have a voice. And to everybody, in fact, you have a voice. It doesn't matter whether you have a follower or 10 followers or 100 followers, 1,000 or even 1,000,000. Part of democracy is to allow your voices to be heard, to express your frustration and anger. That's the point of democracy. Don't silence your voices, because no action will be taken. I would also like to say to every single black person out there and other ethnic minorities too, we need to keep fighting. We need to stop these stereotypical and horrible narratives being thrown at us. We can be anything that we want to be. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter whether you are rich or poor. We can be anything that we want to be. I would also like to say that as a race, we do need to look at our own biases, and we do need to look at the way in which we treat fellow black people. I'm from South London. Some black people may find that very, very, very hard to believe, because some may feel that I don't sound black. First of all, what is sounding white? What is sounding black? What is sounding Asian and any other ethnic minority? What does that mean? When we ask questions like that, when we make such statements, we also sound ignorant and bigoted ourselves. I am from a part of South London. I was in a school where fellow black people would treat me as if I'm inferior. I am just as black as the next black person walking down the street. We cannot move forward with equality. We can't progress if we also don't take the time to look at how we treat ourselves and our fellow black people. Because that's just as important in drilling the message to white people about racism and forms of inequality that aren't okay. Because none of it is okay. And it shouldn't be brushed under the carpet. And I take to task with people who abbreviate the term nigger and want to make it into some form of cool, hip sort of statement. The word was never cool. The word was never acceptable. It was a word used to oppress black people for hundreds of years. When you use that term in your music videos or use that term amongst your friends, think about it. Think about the word. So many of our ancestors lost their lives. And you're saying it as if it's cool. And it never was. We shouldn't use this word. Nobody should use this word. As a race, we should be leading an example not to use the word. Because then racists will think, well, if black people use it, why can't we? That's not what we want at all. I would also like to say to my friends who aren't of colour, who are deeply sickened and disgusted by what's happening and are supporting us, it is greatly appreciated. It really is. But please, I know you don't like hearing the word white privilege, but please, please, please use your privilege to take those who are white and are racist to task, because that is the only way that we can move forward. Otherwise, we're just going to go round and round and round in circles. And absolutely nobody wants that. And if we continue to progress in all forms of equality, then that would be huge justice to all of our ancestors and every single person who has died because of systemic racism in our society. 400 years is too much. We are the generation who can overturn this. We've got our phones. We've got our laptops. The 21st century has proven to be a century of huge connectivity. We can talk to anybody in the world. And with racism, and with tackling all of these issues which I have spoken about, there's no excuses. Wherever you are in the world, keep protesting, keep standing up for democracy, and stay safe. Thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.